Former Mpumalanga agricultural MEC Mandla Msibi will be back in the Nelspruit Magistrate's Court this morning. Msibi, who was released on bail of 20,000 rand in October of last year, is facing 2 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder. It's alleged that he was involved in a fatal shooting that happened in August last year outside a popular restaurant in Mbombela. Newzroom Afrika's Mweli is following that story for us, and he joins us now live from outside court. Mweli, we know that during the previous court appearances, there's been people protesting outside court in support of Msibi. Is that the situation we're seeing there today?
Michelle, I can tell you that today it's very quiet here, and in fact, compared to the previous court appearances, we are not seeing any cordoning off of some of the streets here, because we know that previously some of these streets here along the court were closed completely, but that's not happening today. But we know that the last time the former agriculture MEC Mandla Msibi was in court, it was on the 6th of December last year, and that case was postponed to today for further investigation. We know that warrant officer Samson Bila, who is the investigating officer on this case, asked for more time to continue with that investigation, but also on the side of the presiding officer on this case, that is Magistrate Susan Monaledi. She made it very clear that this is the last time she's giving the state a chance to continue with the investigation, and a promise was made from the side of the investigating officer that they will conclude the investigation within that space of 2 months. So we are going to hear today in court as to whether that investigation has now been concluded, because we know that at that time there were still some processes in as far as ballistic tests in some of those firearms that were currently underway were not concluded, as well as video evidence that was expected to also be presented in court. So we'll only know today if those ballistic tests are done, as well as that video evidence. But we know that from the side of the supporters of the former MEC Mandla Msibi, they are calling for this case to be struck off the roll, because they believe that this is just a politically motivated case, and they are saying that they'll continue coming here in court to support Mandla Msibi. In fact, they are accusing some senior members of the ANC in the province of being behind all this alleged politically motivated case. So because we know that Mpumalanga is going for a provincial conference of the ANC, so they are saying that this is one other way of trying to prevent Mandla Msibi from emerging as one of the key leaders come conference day, which is expected to sit at the during the first week of next month. Michelle,
I suppose everything that you've just outlined, it's sort of what will determine whether the case goes ahead today.
Yes, indeed. Today it will be about the first thing that will be considered is whether this investigation has been concluded, because indeed the magistrate made it very clear, because it wasn't for the first time the state was given a chance to conclude the investigation. So the court made it very clear that they are given just 2 months to conclude that investigation. That's when then we will know as to what happens, Michelle. But indeed we might also see a formal application from the side of Mandla Msibi, trying to make sure that the charges against him are dropped. But that's not formal at this stage, but it's something that we are hearing also from some of his supporters, that today he might also come in with that application to ensure that the case is removed from the roll.
All right, Mweli Masilela live to us there from the court in Mbombela as the case against Mandla Msibi continues. He's the former agricultural MEC in Nelspruit. That's the Nelspruit Magistrate's Court.